R2, how are you today?
Great.
Excelsior! I'm glad you're good. So, I was thinking, since you and I do Formulaic, a podcast in script writing where we break down the plot structures of formulaic shows, like Power Rangers or a Scooby-Doo, what's new with him, then we write a script. I was thinking you could do that for MSS intros, aka Mostly Speakin' Spider-Man? No, Mostly Speakin' Sentai. The Spider-Mans they have a different formula. Sentai had a strict formula. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, okay, wait, so let me get this straight. You're going to give me the formula for the intro to a Mostly Speakin' Sentai episode, and I am going to write an intro according to that formula. Got it.
All right.
I'm up to the challenge, James.
Okay, so it starts with a single word that is related to the episode or movie we'll be discussing. Then a short A to D type parallel to that word. Then, for a sentence or two, we then explore how/why that thing is related to our focal word, but through an absurdist point of view, and maybe throw in one thing you had to research for this intro. Then, tie in what was last said into the subject of the episode. The sweatier the comparison, the funnier. Then we take the last thing there and relate it to either myself, Nicole, or the podcast at large. And then, Nicole says her name, we scream the title, and the theme song hits. You want to give it a shot?
Yes, I do. I think I have it. So we're going to start with a single word, go kind of off on a little tangent from that word, use something I've researched, tie it back around to the movie, and then relate that to us. Okay, here's what I've got. Tiny ladies. Who needs them? I sure do, because I like ladies, and I like things that are small. When I looked it up, the average woman, the average adult woman is 5'4". So I'm sure we have listeners underneath 5'4", and they're tiny. So we need them. Apparently, I think all sizes of ladies matter, just like all sizes of moths matter. There are 3 sizes of mothras in Rebirth of Mothra, just like there are 3 sizes of ladies here at Mostly Speakin' Sentai.
And this is the beginning first night of KaiJULY Con 2023, presented to you by Mostly Speakin' Sentai. Yes, guys, like I didn't say, R2 said, I'm a little lady, and I washed my face before we began. Oh, yeah, but not on a normal way you would wash a face. I washed my face on my abs that are almost a washboard. I just bent down real hard and started smacking it on these abs. It was a good time, guys. And ooh, baby, you want to hear what my next step in facial washing is?
Absolutely.
Penile wash with my muscular mouth.
That's not okay.
Yeah, it is. Now it's my mouth doing the washing instead of my face getting washed.
Yeah.
I like how you live in a world where the things you say make sense.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I like that you live in that world.
I live in the world that, not by the man who created it, I literally live in the world of Ren and Stimpy, where someone would flex their abs and they'd be like, oh my God, I gotta wash my face, and then smash their head. They just bend 180 degrees and just start grinding their face, exfoliating on abs.
I've done that, but I needed a second person. Ooh. Someone with abs.
Hell yeah, dude. I wonder if any of our viewers or listeners in the post-math are into rubbing their face on abs.
Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and find out.
Oh, man. On Spotify, that should be one of the QAs that I put in. Mm-hmm. Do you like rubbing your face on abs? I feel like most people would if they're smooth and shaved.
There's a lot that goes along with it, though. Like, by rubbing your face on the abs, are you making a promise of further emotional commitment, or is it just like a friendly face rubbing against abs scenario?
It could be that. It could also be like a cat, how they kind of mark their territory by rubbing facing on it.
Yeah, I don't really like the feeling of that. Feels off. I think that before any face on ab rubbing happens, there needs to be like a mutual understanding and
written consent
conversation.
form.
Yes, absolutely.
Dang, this could be a rom-com. Like they think, you were about to say, wow, James. Well, guess what? I have it, okay? That's how quick-witted I am. So what would happen is someone is like, oh, I wish I could rub my face on someone's abs, or maybe this is a business and it is a written consent. You have to say that. But much like in Pretty Woman, oh, I'm starting to catch feelings for this person that I'm rubbing abs on, but they probably don't like that. But they're also thinking like, oh, I need to hide my boner whenever they do this because I'm getting all the feelings. But this shouldn't be happening. They signed a consent form, but now, 1 year is up. Yes, this is now 1 Year Gator, and the contracts can be remixed and redone, and they say, ... love, and then they say, oh, and then the 1 Year Gator winks into camera, Looney Tunes style, and gets the fuck out of there and goes on to 1 Year Gator 2.
Yeah, I think that's going to do really well at the box office.
I think it is, but we got to introduce wait, what was the new thing you wanted to be? Like the Worm of the Mightiness or some shit? There was something you wanted to be like Nicole the Destruction, or I don't know.
Think about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Nicole full of webbing.
The Emissary of Hell.
Yeah, there we go. Now, let me introduce my co-host, the Emissary of Hell herself. It's the Bricks, Jakis.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Are you lively?
It's warm in here.
It's getting warm in beers. Do you want to?
What?
Do you want to just sit out in the hall?
What?
It'll get bad sound, but we can get you out there.
No.
We can figure out a way to do it. When I had COVID, you were recording out in the living room.
Yeah.
Because I'm a goddamn professional. You know?
Yeah.
I hear other co-hosts who like live together. They're like, well, yeah, I can't do it this week. You know, we have COVID. It's like, no. Or one of them has. One of you sits in a room, then you daisy chain a couple cables out into the living room, and then you hop on Discord so you can see each other, and then you just chat.
That sounds great. Like a great idea.
Yeah.
For people who podcast every day of their lives.
And it also feels kind of like, oh my God, it's like a slumber party.
Except like the opposite, because you're not in the same room.
Well, okay, so before a slumber party, like, oh, it's about to be summertime in one of these children's movies I watch. And speaking of children's movie, we'll get to one today. It's like this is the new way of putting shoestring in a can. You just daisy chain a XLR cable to your friend's house, and then you just like hop on. There's zero latency. You don't need to get on the phone and like hear them slightly off because their window's open. And you can hear both of like through the headphones and through that. No, it's zero latency communication between best friends who aren't best friends because of proximity, because they were friends before they lived together. Then mommy and daddy moved and said, oh, you're right next to your best friend for a long time.
James, I believe you've just come up with wired internet.
What are you talking about? But that's like still going to have some latency. Are you saying like LAN stuff?
Yeah.
Local area
some
network?
LAN stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not with XLR cables. No one's coming over. The Geek Squad's not saying, hey, yeah, might as need to install some XLR from house to house.
Do you think that if I called the Geek Squad, they would help me with an XLR cable web from house to house?
Yeah.
To all my internet friends?
As long as you get written consent, just like in 1 Year Gator.
Perfect. We brought it back around.
Mm-hmm. But guys, we got to introduce our guest today. You know him from the Rom Complex. You know him from the aforementioned Formulaic, a podcast and script writing. It's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2.
Woo, it's me. I'm here.
Chat's going
Everyone
nuts.
wanted it. Chat's popping off right now because of me. and my presence.
I think you're a top tier, mostly speaking Sentai guest.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing it.
It's you, Sean, Melzer. I don't know if people enjoy when the Hit It and Critic crew came over because they're like, oh, wow, Jose's on 3 of the 4 weeks in 1 month? Yeah, that's because Jose's available, fuckers. And sometimes, a lot of times, guests will cancel last minute. But you want to know why you should enjoy Jose? He's there in a pinch.
He's the last resort, so make sure you can...
He's the first resort.
Okay.
Like, resorts, your home is technically your normal thing, like the thing you schedule, hey, I pay the lease on. But when you want to take a vacation, that's your first resort. But all of a sudden, if like, oh, that one's got bed bugs, we got to go to another one. Oh, that one's got malaria, got to go to another one. This one has big moths that turned into little moths and then into big moths.
What kind of Airbnbs are you staying at?
I don't know. We once had one that had a bunch of centipedes in it.
Were they the cool kind or the scary kind?
There's never a cool kind of centipede.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue, but
yeah, I would
just disagree.
Nicole was going to say, what are the cool ones? Yeah. I don't want to see pictures of any centipede.
They're smaller. Their legs aren't as like, scary, you know? Because all the scariest centipedes, they have long legs that go out to the side.
Yeah,
that's kind of one of the
ones.
Differences between centipede and millipede. Like, millipedes are really cool because when you look down at them from the top, you can't see their legs like spread out.
Yeah,
they're
those
right
ones
underneath
are kind
them.
of cute.
No, they're all
That's
gross.
not what we had, though. That's not what we had.
Okay, you had bad
we had the nightmare
scary centipedes.
ones.
Yeah. Okay.
If I had the Infinity Gauntlet, I'd say the only good centipede is a dusted one. And then they're all dust.
Cool.
I'm speechless, James. I don't know what to tell you.
Paul Rudd comes, oh my God, they killed my centipede friends. Do you guys want to help me go back in time? And they're like, the fuck you, dude. And then Thor cuts his head off.
Okay, this would be actually a way cooler, way interesting franchise for Marvel movies if all of it was based on the destruction of half of the centipede population. Yeah. And then it's like one person trying to get everyone on board and saving them.
No, I guess that would be less stakes, but no, I'm snapping all centipedes.
Okay, James, I don't understand why you have to no-but me here. Just go along with it.
No, I was actually saying, yes, that's a better idea. But the reason why I'm saying,
James,
hey,
I think you have to accept you're the one this time.
No,
you're
the
not going along with the bit.
No, I said your idea was better. However, I want everyone to know. Centipedes should all be eliminated. That's what I'm getting at. But for a movie-wise plot structure, if Ant-Man were to come and say, like, hey, all the centipedes are gone, yeah, you want to know what? Something went extinct. Like, someone could hop aboard on that. But if Paul Rudd came to Thor and said, like, hey, half the centipede population was wiped out, we need to take all our effort and go back in time so half won't be killed, he'd be like, yeah, man, there's still half. They'll reproduce.
And it's beautiful that you felt the need to clarify that you want to kill all centipedes at the expense of just going along with my bit. I see what's important to you, James.
I was still going along with the bit.
And Nicole is with me. Nicole's with me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit in my head going every time James starts going on a rant that I haven't been able to get out because he won't stop talking.
Go for it. You can stop me. All you have to do is start talking, and then I will immediately stop talking. You want to know why? Because I don't want to edit me talking over you.
Yeah.
That is what... Oh, sorry. Go
No, what were you going to say?
That's just one of the things about editing your own podcast is you see how many times you've like talked over someone else and then you're like, wow, I'm just a horrible person.
Wow, I deserve to die. No, every time you started to go on a rant, I would just think about what the frog on Shelby's head, what its name is.
Its name is Jimmy.
And I came up with Ribbert.
Ribbert is good. We had a whole like tournament of names.
Yeah.
to name it. But...
Jimmy's in bloom, guys.
Well, because also Jimmy from Heathcliff.
Yeah.
That's what he's named after.
Hell yeah, dude. Heathcliff rocks. It used to be real weird, but now it's in like a nice weird.
Yeah, ever since the son or whatever took over.
The nephew.
Oh, nephew. Yes.
So that then led me to a ribbit hole of what that one cartoon show that was frogs was called, because I was wondering if Shelby's ever even heard of it. I think it was Newtopia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or wait, or am I thinking of Amphibia?
Amphibia, yeah.
Oh, wait, is that the one you were thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay, wowzers.
I said I don't know what the name was.
Oh, I thought you said like that left me down a ribbit hole like earlier. And you were like, oh, yeah, it's that Newtopia.
Amphibia. Have you seen it, Shelby?
No. I don't know what that is.
It's a cute cartoon where all the characters are frogs.
Besides one.
I will look into it. What's this non-frog entity?
She's a human that got isekai'd.
Into Frogland?
Yeah.
This sounds like a great show.
It's right up your alley.
It's fun.
Absolutely. How do I make that my life?
I guess do a lot of drugs.
Go to a mysterious antique store and buy something that looks like a music box with frogs on it.
Dang, I bought the enchanted mirror last time I was there. And
You fucked up.
I fucked up. I had a whole different adventure. It was no frogs to be seen. There was like a weird rabbit. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you could also end up getting a Joker's card, and then you have to deal with that juggalo bullshit.
Yeah, I really don't want to have to go to a gathering of the juggalos just because I bought the wrong thing at an antique shop.
All of a sudden, these two jugglers are like counting your sins, and like depending on how much you've sinned, the balls are heavy or not.
I mean, that does sound like a little bit of a romantic dream.
Oh, you want to kiss these jugglers?
I mean, well, I'm just lying there and they're judging me and making me feel bad. I'm not saying that that's my first. Yeah, okay, if they're making me feel good, they're just being like, Shelby, you've done such a good job with your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm definitely kissing those jugglers.
All right. They get to one of the balls and it just falls flat and they're like, you did do that Formulaic podcast.
And I'm like, I know, and I feel secure in my faults.
Okay, good. Whew.
Everyone has them. Everyone has them.
Nicole, what are some of your faults?
I mean, if anything, you're just a victim of being in proximity to James. I joke that like the more time you spend with him, the higher the likelihood is that he will convince you to do a podcast with him.
Oh, yeah. It didn't even take very much. He just asked me.
No. I'm trying to find someone to do a mini series over on the podcast, 6 episodes called Death to Squibbs. We're going to discuss all 6 Trancer movies.
That's great. I didn't understand some of those words.
Squid? Or no, squids.
Squids.
Yeah. They're people who got tranced.
Oh, they aren't people who bought a music box with squids in it from an antique shop.
I wish.
And they're not like pockets of explosive blood.
That's what I was thinking. Or June Squibb, the actor.
Who's that?
She's an actor.
Okay, all right.
Famous old. She's one of the old ladies.
Golden Girls?
No, not one of those.
Oh, okay.
It's just like when there's an old lady in something, it might be June.
All right.
You know, chat can back me up.
Oh, chat's blowing up saying, Shelby, how'd you know that?
They're listing all of their favorite June Squibb roles in chat right now. It's pretty wild.
They're like, well, remember when she was on Law & Order? I'm assuming if she's been around for a while, she's been on Law & Order.
Yeah, she must have been. Mm-hmm. I can definitely name other things that she's been in.
Sean doesn't even live in New York, and he's been on Law & Order.
Well, they have Law and Order in other places.
Yeah, Las Vegas, maybe. L.A.
No, that's the one place they don't have.
Dang it.
Yeah,
it's lawless there. Do you guys want to get into this Mothra movie?
Absolutely.
Nicole? Okay, today we're discussing, I think, 1996, the Rebirth of Mothra. So, back in 1995, Toho said, Godzilla will lay him to rest. I don't know why I'm talking like Trump. Godzilla will lay him to rest. There we go. Man, if Trump sounded like me when I'm hyped up, you
would have voted for him twice.
No, I was going to say, he would have never been president. No one would listen to him besides like 40 people. So they're like, Godzilla, he had a good run, but let's give some other franchises or some other new stuff a shot. So like Orochi, the 8-headed dragon, came and bombed. But also they said, who's our big three? We got Ghidorah, we got Godzilla, and we got Mothra. Those are our big threes. Let's take two of those. One of them's dead. So take the two that are living and mash them together. And we have the Rebirth of Mothra series.
And it's so good.
Yes, okay.
It's so good.
I'm glad you liked it.
I love it. I had a blast watching this movie. I was in love with Mothra the whole freaking time. The whole movie looked beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, I loved how all of the monsters looked. And it was just so fun. Yeah. What a fun watch.
I think this is the height of Toho's visually, what they can do, especially with practical stuff. Still shot on film, so you get that warmness from an analog system. And that just... They perfected it with the last Godzilla movies, and they're just taking what they've learned and carrying it over to this. It's great.
It's so good.
Nicole?
Yeah, it's really like one of those cliche, like magical creature movies. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's really good. You know, like Free Willy or
the
Elliot's
the water horse or whatever.
Yes, water horse.
Elliot's dragon is E.T., right?
Yeah.
Okay. E.T. was a dragon.
Was he?
Yeah. It's Pete's dragon, though,
Pete's
right?
dragon, whatever.
Okay.
Elliot had one too, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
E.T.
James.
That's how he was flying?
We talked about, someone in chat just mentioned Godzilla vs. Mothra from 92. That's the one we talked about last year for KaiJULY Con. Isn't that right? Man, we're really hitting all the great Mothras.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know what? Let's hop on the Patreon. We'll do the other two, and then next year we'll do Godzilla vs. Mothra vs. King Ghidorah, all-out monster giant attack.
Yeah, I would love to. Let's do it.
That one's real fun. Godzilla's the enemy in it. He's a bad boy. He's got a leather jacket on saying, "Ayy."
Does he smoke cigarettes?
Yes, but then halfway through the movie, they put him in a windbreaker, and then he's just chewing on a toothpick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like the Fonz.
Oh.
Yeah, Godzilla's looking pretty hot in that movie, I gotta say.
And guess what? Slicked back hair, because only squibs have squids, dang it, have dried hair.
Yeah, why do you keep saying squib?
Because squibs explode, so it seems like he would call them squibs. It just is a more science fiction thing. A squid's ocean, that's not science fiction. That's science reality.
You don't think a squid is science fiction? A squid is one of the most sci-fi animals. You know how many of them live in the deep, unexplored vastness of the ocean?
Yeah, and so does probably Gollum or, I don't know, the female orgasm. There's a callback from the beginning. I love podcasting with you, Shelby.
Because I laugh at your jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dodoy bought the basketball. So, do you guys want to begin? Or R2, what's your favorite kind of moth?
Mothra. Mothra is my favorite kind of moth.
All right.
As soon as they show her in this movie, I'm immediately like, I'm in love with Mothra. I want to be Mothra. Like, if I could be a kaiju, I would be Mothra. The one that laid the egg in this movie, not the one that hatches out of it. I would be that first Mothra.
You don't want to be Mothra Leo?
No. Mothra Leo, very cute in its own way. Mm-hmm. But I like the color scheme and design of the other one, the initial
OG
one, better. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be
the blue
Fairy?
Eyes. Fairy is also very cute. A little pastel for me personally. Like, I wouldn't look like that, but beautiful. Fairy is the tiny Mothra that the tiny ladies ride around on. And it's very cute.
See, if I were Mothra, what I would want to look like is, think Mothra.
Okay.
But then, like, take her wings, turn them into arms, and then that hairy body, turn it into, like, a stacked lady, and then, like, her head, make it look like Pamela Anderson. That's the kind of moth I'd want to be.
So just Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson, but with, like, you've kept Mothra's legs for some reason.
Oh,
her
no,
little feet in the front. And you can still fly.
No, those have been my wings have turned into arms.
I meant you can still fly without. I mean, you think that her wings are the thing that's getting her into the air?
Yeah, you want to know
what? I
what?
think Mothra has magic helping out with that flight.
They probably do, because we see one in a net, and then they're also always in blankets still being able to fly. They can't do that if they're just using wings.
Yeah.
I could drink a Red Bull.
There you go. And then you'd be a flying Pamela Anderson.
Think of me in Pamela Anderson at 31, Nicole. Did you wake up next to that? You'd be like, geez, when did I win the lottery? I'd say, this is how we're making money from now on. The listeners can't see what I just did. I shook my titties. Man, all of a sudden, Tim the Toolman Taylor's coming over saying, you want to date my son? He's like 14. I'm like, no. Who wrote this?
Yeah.
It's just actually Tim Allen. Like,
yeah.
Why are you here?
Pretending to be his own son.
Yeah.
I hear you know my brother. He taught you English, correct? And I said, well, he taught me like English adjacent subjects. Hey, that's all I need to hear. That's my in. I was like, you are not.
Right.
You're not getting in here, sir.
You were taught in school by Tim Allen's brother.
Yes, biological.
It's biological, folks. Don't come at me with the half-brother or step-brother defense.
Or in-law. So let's get into this bitch.
Please.
So we begin, I don't know where. Oh, with the intro that is capitalist porn, because trees are getting ripped down and people are making money off from nature. Just like if I were Pamela Anderson, my nature would be getting us money.
And getting people off.
Yes.
So I love that they continue the environmental message of all of these kaiju movies, because that's where it all comes from. Like, something is trying to destroy the world, and we gotta fix it. And in this case, it's cutting all the trees down.
It's crazy how people in this fandom now are like, oh yeah, Godzilla's getting woke. And it's like, it's always been, it's never not been woke.
Yeah.
Literally the first Godzilla movie is this beautiful, efficiently shot and edited masterpiece about, like, nuclear war, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not in support.
No, it's not, James.
And it's not indifferent.
And when you start out with that foundation, how are you going to say it's gone woke from there? Like,
yeah.
I would say, like, Godzilla Raids Again really isn't. That was just a cash grab. I don't know about the first Godzilla versus Kong, maybe. That might not have been too environmental. But after that, full steam ahead going into the 60s and especially the 70s. Hydra or Hedorah, I mean.
Hedorah,
man,
yeah.
That was a 70s trip. For real.
Yeah, the fight scenes in that, I feel like weren't super great, but everything else about it I remember enjoying.
Yeah, it was more about the message, not people in suits duking it out.
Exactly.
It should be us duking it out with the fuckers in the suits.
It should be Pamela Anderson's right boob and left boob duking it out for everyone's attention.
No, those come together for peace. A piece of the pie, okay?
Yeah, just like Mothra and some children come together.
And it goes from being this capitalist porn into a yuppie nightmare in so many senses, where it's this middle-class family trying to get their piece of the pie, Pamela Anderson style, except, exploiting forests and nature, not, big natures. So...
My God.
That's what I meant when I said, like...
Okay, when Ghidorah starts eating the, 10,000-year-old trees, instead of calling them 10,000-year-old trees, they should have called them big naturals.
Uh-huh. Biggest naturals. Mommy milkers. He's milking Mother Earth for all she's worth.
Yeah, it tracks. I'm sorry, Nicole. I have to go with James on this one. The metaphor works out.
Deal with it.
God damn it.
So yeah, this becomes a yuppie nightmare because this well-to-do family is all of a sudden thrown into chaos because people invade into their home, invade into their space, and then they have to deal with it and see what the outcome is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you said, we're starting out, all these trees are getting cut down. And one of the guys cutting down the tree, he's this guy. They stumble across this, seal in the ground.
Arf, arf.
And here's the thing. Well, okay. Now, Nicole.
I wrote it in my notes. And then you said it, and I was like, oh, here's my chance.
And you did it. That was a good job.
Yeah, I nailed
fitting
it.
that joke in. It felt really natural.
Big natural.
It felt big natural. So he finds this ancient seal in the ground. He pulls it. He pries it up. Now, my question for you is, you find an ancient seal on some big rock formation. We're leaving that there, right?
Yes.
You're not moving that.
Guys.
Yeah.
This dude ripped through months of bureaucratic red tape with a screwdriver in a matter of 30 seconds. No one from the government was clearly there, or anyone from OSHA, anyone from anything to say hey, yeah, this all needs to be checked out. You fucked up. You should have just been blowing shit up, not just digging through things. This is going to set you back months.
What if they have an OSHA compliance officer on site of every potential kaiju uncovering?
They should.
So then this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
This wouldn't happen. None of this would have happened.
This was the same
Messed
as
up.
the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. They just were yeah, let's rip this open. No, get someone from the local museum to come down and say oh yeah, this you shouldn't open.
Right. Otherwise, next thing you know, you're mind controlled by ooze, and you have to rely on children.
Mind controlled by ooze sounds like Nickelodeon in the late 90s.
Wow.
So this guy, he takes that seal and he brings it back home, where he has a wife and a son and a daughter. And they're all like, why don't you spend any time with us anymore? You're so busy working and cutting down all those trees. He was like, I can make up for this. I got this seal that I'm going to put on a chain for my daughter.
Okay, multiple things. First of all, James and I actually watched this movie first dubbed and then subbed, and the subtitle version is absolutely way better. The dubs for this are terrible.
I only watched the sub, which is why, they never say anything about Mothra Leo, and they call the new Mothra her. So, to me, so I always thought of both of the Mothras, or all of the Mothras are girls. To me, they are all using she, her pronouns in this movie, So
the Leo thing doesn't come until, I think, the second or third one. And it's never in the movies that they are considered Leo. That is just taken from a soundtrack title.
Oh, interesting.
I did some research.
I think that's a difference in the sub and the dub, is that, in the sub, they call the new Mothra her also.
Yeah.
But when I read the Wikipedia article, they call Mothra Leo him and Mothra's son. And I'm like, no.
Get out of here.
I think they're misgendering this moth, to be honest.
It could be. I don't know. But I was like, oh, Nicole, I hope they're still voiced by adults. Because boy, oh boy, the kids are voiced by adults. And it's so rough.
It's real
bad. Oh, no. In the dub?
Yeah. Yeah, the dub is so bad.
And the father comes across as like this like bumbling man who's like, hey, he'll be fine. Kind of like a Tim Allen sort. And the subtitled, the original voice acting, or just actors, this man just comes across as, wow, he sucks.
Yeah, in the subs, I thought more like, yeah, he kind of sucks at first, and then it's like, well, he's just trying to provide for his family, I guess. But throughout the movie, the parents regularly just kind of let their kids handle everything. Mm-hmm. I think they're at the point where it's like, I don't know, my kids are talking to a magical moth and tiny ladies. Like, clearly they're gonna handle this better than I can.
Yeah. There's a moment when picture if any of our fathers did this. If our dad was drunk, drinking in our bunk bed, saying, you're lovable, unlike your mother, and your mother is right there.
Yeah, can't relate at all.
That's why I'm saying, like, hey.
Definitely can't
So
relate.
They should disown this man. He's not good.
I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe it has a different cultural context that we're not aware of. I don't know. Maybe drinking in front of your children and calling your wife unlovable is different in Japan.
It just seems manipulative. That's what I'm thinking.
I wrote, just like an absentee father, to give your daughter something you found at work as a bribe.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what does that gift do? It opens her up to some mind control.
Yeah.
Just like all the best gifts.
There was also, when he's trying to find the chain, he's like touching everywhere on the entertainment system area, and the wife says, don't touch my knickknacks and trinkets, which is, that's the thing in the movie I can relate to, is a mother saying, all of this is off limits, except every single week when I need you to dust literally every trinket I have, then you can touch them, but you do it with gloves on and very delicately.
Yeah.
I would tell you, why don't you do that chore then, James? Because no.
No, you did not grow up with my mom or did not know of my mom before she got medicated. You do it exactly as she says, so then even if she still is upset and angry about it, it's not on you. It can't be on you.
Oh no, James. There's no way to make that person not upset or angry. It doesn't matter what you do.
I know. Oh, so you're saying I should have just been like my brother and sister and said, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. Now you tell me. My mom is a wonderful individual. She's amazing.
We all go through our own journeys, don't we? Mm-hmm. And family can be complicated.
Yeah. I remember sweeping floors and my mom being like, what? The floor's still dirty. It's got all this stuff. And I was like, I need glasses. To me, it looks clean.
Yeah. What's up with parents?
When I got glasses, my sister gaslit me so much as a child. She tried convincing my parents that I was only getting glasses so I would look cool in them. But it's like, these are prescription glasses. I need them. You fucking ass.
Bullied.
Yeah.
Who thinks of glasses as the thing you look cool in?
I think it's because I was a Harry Potter fan at the time. So she's like, he just wants to look like Harry Potter. And it's like, no, I need these glasses.
James is over there carving a scar in his forehead. He's like, no, I just like the style.
No, that would be
bleeding.
My sister would be taking a knife to me, which she has done.
Oh my God.
She's a fantastic woman now, guys.
It was one time and it was an accident.
Hey, that latter part is debatable. She was literally saying, I'm gonna get you. And that's not, she should still take responsibility as it was her fault.
Yeah.
I did that too. Have we talked about this before?
No.
My older brother, and the neighbor girl across the street, they're both a little older than me. They were like chasing me around, and I had a pair of scissors for some reason. And they like cornered me in a room, and I was like, and they were like reaching for me, and I was like snapping the scissors at them, and they continued to reach for me. So this girl got her finger cut. She placed her hand into the scissors I was snapping.
Okay, well,
self-defense.
Let's say they were the ones with the knives. And they cornered you in a corner. That was my situation.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Terrifying.
That's scary.
Yeah. It's not good, guys.
Yeah, scissoring and self-defense is a pretty good phrase. I would agree with chat on that one.
Oh, damn. Man, if I were Pamela.
Title of this episode.
Well, I think the title is Godzilla or Mothra, Rebirth of Mothra.
Wow, okay.
Sorry. I'm washing my face. You guys got too much into the details of like, whoa, how's this happen? I did wash my face and it was very cold, and it reminded me of when Nicole and I first started dating, which I would work at like 5 a.m. But Nicole was kind of a night owl, staying up till like 1 a.m. So I would be in the bathroom like every hour just splashing the coldest water on my face, trying to stay up so I could hang out with Nicole more.
Yeah, tricking me
into
making me think that you're also a night owl.
Oh, so I could have been like, hey, dude, do you want to just like come over?
You get up at 6 a.m.
Sometimes earlier.
You fucking crazy person.
But now I go to bed still. Actually, now it's weird because you wake up probably the same time you used to, but now you go to bed when I go to bed.
Yeah, that's because I probably have medical problems.
Yay, dabbing.
Okay, so what I was getting back around to is that family is complicated. Yeah. Who knows that better than what I saw as Mona and Lorda, the twin fairy tiny ladies. Mm-hmm. So you've got Mona, she's more like getting things done. She seems to be more of a leader. And Lorda, who's like kind of scared, but like, you know, is still one of the same. She's still the same little tiny lady. And they are the people who communicate with Mothra. And they ride the tiny Mothra ferry. And they look over Mothra and sing to her. And they know all about this seal and that it's keeping this giant, you know, 3-headed space dragon trapped and keeping it from eating all of Earth's trees. And they have a sister, Belvira, who is an evil little freak. And she's going around riding her toy dinosaur.
Man, that dinosaur, its name is Gagaru.
Gagaru, yeah.
This is the most expressionate, there we go, kaiju that we've ever seen. And this is a few years before Dungeons and Dragons 2000, that movie. I don't know why no one knew about this technology of, hey, let's just make it like look really cool IRL, and then like we can use CGI to touch things up. No, we're just going to go straight up CGI. Okay.
Yeah, it is cute. It does a lot for a lot of the scenes. Gagaru looks like it's just an action figure jumping around, which is really funny and cute and endearing, and I like it a lot.
It's the cutest.
Yeah.
In the best.
Yes.
And in watching the dubbed version, James and I were like rooting for the evil characters because of like, it's so crazy how much dubbing will change shit.
I'm still sort of, the way in which Belvira was going at it, killing all the trees is going to kill literally everything. Mm-hmm. How about we just focus on the parasites that are in the world? Like if all of a sudden Ghidorah like rose from the seas and was like, hey, all the humans I'm going to have to murder. I'd be like, okay, is it just us or will you lay waste to everything? He's like, well, if you guys try to fight back, I'll like have to lay waste to a lot of the environment. I'd be like, guys, let's just wrap it up. Let's just wrap it up. Earth can live on as they want to. Think of all the little kittens just running around, suckling on teats. Big naturals on little cats.
Oh, yeah. I think we should probably call it in at that point for the human race. Yeah.
And then, ooh, Mr. Ghidorah, maybe I can be saved. And then he's like, hey, you Pamela Anderson, of course. I loved watching you on Baywatch. You still look the same age. And I said, I had some work done, a.k.a. magic.
Wow.
That's amazing that you said all of that.
Flawless.
Then he gravity beams my titties and just kind of like pushes them around.
Ghidorah does this?
Fuck.
The big 3-headed dragon?
Yeah, one of them would.
Okay. But in the movie, what happens is that Belvira is like, oh my God, the seal has been removed. I'm stoked. I'm going to go find this seal. I'm going to go release Ghidorah because the earth, not earthing for me. I would like things to be destroyed. So she goes and finds Wakaba, the little girl who has this seal as a necklace, and straight up mind controls her.
Yeah. And when we are, like, they fly in, this looks very much like Pod People when, like, Trumpy is, like, dancing around making all this stuff. Have you seen this movie?
I have seen Pod People.
Hell yeah. Yes. Nicole, something happened to your camera.
My phone probably died.
Uh-oh. It's probably not plugged into the wall. That might be what happened, guys.
I mean, I've seen Pod People from Mystery Science Theater.
That's
what I've seen it for. It's a very good Mystery Science Theater.
I feel like that's the one that made me love MST3K, where I was like, oh, okay, I'm on board for this.
Mine was Puma Man.
We haven't seen that one.
Oh my God, you haven't seen Puma Man? I've seen Puma Man with the MS3TK track and just without it, just on its own as a movie.
We'll check that out.
Yeah, check out Puma Man.
I can't even tell you the one that's the one that hooked me because I was watching it. Well, it aired, baby. And I asked my dad, I was like, hey, thanks for getting us into that. And he's like, no, that's something you kids found and kind of dragged me into.
So Wakaba being mind controlled or whatever is her skipping school and just eating a shit ton of snacks and watching TV.
I really like how the stream's looking right now. This is pretty cool. Mothra, little girl. She's mind controlled. Belvira's there, riding around Gargaru, shooting lasers. They end up tying up the mom. The kid is also torturing her brother. I guess I can just talk to chat now. Hello, Hit People Guy.
Am I back?
Wonder Swan.
I think I'm
Hello,
back.
Heltran. Oh.
Yeah, we're all back.
Okay.
Yay, okay.
So yeah, she is getting mind controlled, and spoilers, guys, she does become like this forever growing mass of cells because she does get Akira at the end.
Okay, first of all, I haven't seen Akira.
Oh, fuck. Well, you want to know what? It is so old.
I know. And I'm not saying, oh, spoilers. I'm saying I don't understand the reference.
Yeah.
And that also does not happen in this movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in Akira. I was like, no, I've seen it. You have not.
No. I would not deign to guess what happens in Akira. I know there's a motorcycle. Yeah. But I do not remember any kind of cell type thing happening to the little girl in this movie.
Yeah, she just bullies her brother, then stays home eating food.
Right. And then her mom gets tied up. Who ties up her mom?
I think her.
She ties up her mom. And like her brother, Taiki, he runs outside, and that's when the fairy, the small Mothra, with the two tiny ladies riding, approaches. And they're like talking to each other. They're planning. And then Fairy and the girls go in and they're facing off with Gagaru and Belvira, and they're ruining the whole house. And it's very awesome.
When we first watched this, I was like, damn, Japan knows how to do a suburban home. And then this chase happened. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a set. I'm stupid to think that this was not a set. Because then when they go outside and you look into the background to see the other houses, you're like, oh, that is a painting. There was one thing in between him waiting for his sister and going back to be like, hey, where is she? There are these two boys outside, and a soccer ball on a string is a perfect way to bully another child because you can just keep kicking it at them, being like, hey, where's your sister, you dumbass?
Yeah, because he runs away because like she like was beating him up, and the other little kids are like, you were getting beat up by your sister?
Mm-hmm.
And they were bullying him.
And this part, this reminded me so much of the movies from Full Moon Features, aka the Moonbeam Features, because they're the ones for children. It's those, but one with an IP backing budget, because those ones, zero budget. This, oh baby, it's got stylistic choices.
Yeah, that big old beautiful Mothra. She's gorgeous. She's lying on a giant egg. So Fairy gets in there, they're fighting with Belvedere, but Belvedere, she gets... Belvedere? Belvira.
I was calling her Belvedere as well.
Yeah. Belvira gets the seal and, like, fucks off to find Ghidorah and unleash Ghidorah. But the tiny ladies, Lorda and Mona, are left with the kids, while Fairy is kind of ill. Or do they use the seal to help Fairy get better? No, that's later.
Yeah, that's later.
That's later.
It is currently broken up from the battle with Gagaru. It was real cool. Mm-hmm. And in this moment, the mom is untied. She has seen all of this, and she's like, what is going on? A lesser movie would have made her going out to get groceries, then come back and see that it's all decimated. And it's like, what happened? And the kids are like, well, this is what happened. And she's like, don't lie to me.
No, but she sees all this.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the know. I would want to know if I were a mom. I would want to know that my kids were involved in some great battle for the planet.
Yeah.
Wait, what would you do? Like if you came home and your place was just fucking destroyed and your two kids were like, a tiny lady on a dragon and two tiny ladies on a moth were laser beaming.
The first thing I would do, I would call you and say, hey, Nicole, so we do or do not have renter's insurance. And then after that, I would sit down and be like, okay, I would do it detective style. Put one child in one room, the other child in the other. Then I would ask them both the same questions and see if it lines up perfectly, because if it does, then woohoo, I believe them.
Okay.
I'd probably like look around, probably be like, how did I have kids? And probably be like, what's going on here? Is this a hypothetical situation that has somehow become real?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would go from there.
Nicole?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I would, because it's like, what else would have done this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's scorch marks everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That would be the big thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be like, I feel like I would sit them down and just be like, what the fuck? And have to just like look at everything and see and try to like piece it together myself. And be like, okay, I guess.
I know what I'd do. I'd take out their phones and go to their TikToks, because these damn kids are TikToking everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They'd say, whoa,
that's right, James.
The views I'm about to get.
So at the end of this battle, you've got the kids. The kids are fine. The mom's fine. I don't know where the heck the dad is.
But they're valuable items.
Their valuable items are not okay. Yeah, they're fucked.
Well, the dad's working.
Right, of course. He's always working, and that's the problem.
In Hokkaido.
But the kid, the little boy, is like talking to the Fairy and the tiny ladies, and somehow they're like, you gotta take us to Hokkaido, because that's where Ghidorah is.
Yeah,
that's where the seal is. And they're like, oh my god, that's where Dad's working. And they say it just like that in the sub version. So it's like, wow, weird that they have one English sentence and it's that.
Yeah. Speaking of, is a working daddy, is that a pleaser for you guys? A desirable trait is what I had written down.
If working is spelled with an E.
Okay.
Yeah. Is the daddy working or working?
Yeah.
Working.
Okay.
So other way, you're like, no, I bring home the bread. You stay home. You make the house.
I would like this potential daddy to have a job.
What's the most desirable job for you?
Any job, really.
Okay. Nicole?
I'm not picky.
You're saying for me, not for the working daddy?
For the working daddy to have.
I don't know, something where I can, like, get something beneficial out of it.
Okay. I think Nicolas Cage's weatherman, that's a pretty desirable job. He works for a total of like 2 hours a day, and then he comes home, he makes like $80,000 a year. That's pretty cool.
Or like a voice actor. Nice. Yeah. James, become a voice actor.
Hey guys, what's up?
You got the gig.
Yeah, you got the gig.
I'm Barbie now.
Yeah, you sound just like her. It's a new take on Barbie.
She smoked.
Yeah. I smoked, but kept up my big naturals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she looks great.
Actually kind of did wonders for my hair in retrospect. It's got that smoky natural to it.
I don't...
Yeah, we got big naturals and smoky naturals now.
I might have lost the... Okay, so are the boobs smoky or...
No,
my
the
hair. I mean, hey, we're women of certain age that get hair somewheres. I might have a Rogan nipple hair here and there.
So what? You have a nipple hair on your head? Is that what's happening?
No, on my, like, nipple.
Oh, you have a nipple hair, but your nipple hairs
naturals
also smell like smoke.
Well, no, they look like they have smoke in it. You know, like if you were to just like dump ash on someone's hair and then like you rinse it out, that's kind of what my hair looks like all the time.
And your nipple hair?
Nipple hair looks like that too. Pussy hair too.
Oh, God.
Because you know I was wearing crotchless panties back in the 80s.
I don't know why I'm asking so many questions about your body hair, but this is just a fascinating woman that we're talking to right now, who has so many smoky aspects to her.
My fingers, you know that game where you take a knife and you go on your hand? I played that a lot, but not with like, it was like with a blunt force object, but look at my fingernails, they're all blue. I don't ever need to do them.
I tried playing it with a hot dog, but it wasn't very fun.
Oh, man. I can't eat hot dogs. One too many carcinogens in my life, okay?
Wow.
Speaking of carcinogens, if you burn a tree, they get all charred. And if you ate that, that'd be a carcinogen.
I thought you were going to talk about my summer romp with Carcinogen Daily.
Nope, I was moving on from this bit.
Yeah. All right.
So they all get in a plane. They hop in a freaking plane to go to Hokkaido, and they put the tiny ladies in a box, like they're dolls. They put on doll clothes on them.
Put them in a box.
They put them in a box, and then they have to pretend to be dolls.
It's awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
I used to be a doll.
God damn
it. Oh, right. She used to be a doll. I was going to say, James, you're still a doll.
Thank you. Speaking of, I don't know why I wrote this down. Maybe because it was like children being voiced by adults. Who voiced the mama doll? Like that's one of the most popular things ever, but we don't know who that voice was.
Whoa, that's a great question. In investigative journalistic podcast,
yes, I was literally
James will
going to pitch this.
Yeah, do it. I believe in you.
Mama. Hey guys.
What if you uncover like a web of crime?
Mama. I'm the new voice of the mama, baby.
Do you remember that movie, Mama? Did you see that?
We did not.
Oh, I saw parts of it it was on the drive-in theater screen next to whatever I was watching. I think I was watching Warm Bodies.
Oh, hell yeah. That's my favorite kind, am I right?
So they get
dead people
the woods,
scare me.
They get to Hokkaido, where Daddy is.
Where Daddy is. They go out into the forest. And this is like halfway through the movie. The whole rest of the movie is one giant kaiju fight for like the entire thing. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it because like Belvira lets Ghidorah out. Ghidorah starts coming out, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have to call Mothra. But Mothra just laid an egg. She's tired.
Just the way man, fucking laid an egg.
Yeah. She laid an egg, man. That takes a lot out of you. It takes a whole egg out. Mm-hmm. And that egg was like bigger than her body, you know?
Oh, trust me, girl. I do it once a month.
What the fuck?
What? James and his yoni egg.
Yeah.
So Mothra, they call Mothra, they sing the Mothra, yeah. It's very cute. They sing to her, and even though they know that Mothra is too tired to really fight for very long because of this egg laying, but they call Mothra, and of course she comes because it's Mothra. She's gonna save the fucking world. She always does.
I feel like...
No matter what it takes.
James, I feel like her voice would be that smoky voice.
Hey guys, I'm here to save the day. Oh boy.
She's fucking tired.
I just went through an hour-long labor. And now it doesn't seem like a lot, but you should see the size of the egg.
Whatever. I don't care. She's beautiful. She starts shooting out her magic dust and lightning at Ghidorah and is fighting Ghidorah, a fucking 3-headed dragon, against a moth. Like, holy shit. So they're fighting for a while, and Ghidorah, one of its heads, like, latches on to Mothra's wing, and it's so sad because you're like, oh my god, Mothra, no! And she's crying, and you're freaking out, and then the egg hatches.
I think this is what we should do. We take an egg that's about to hatch and then put a larger synthetic egg around it to see if it can break through both eggs.
Why?
If it breaks through the egg and we prank it, oh, I'm out into the world. Nope. Okay. I guess there's another one. Will it go through the second egg, or does instinct only dictate break through one egg?
It just dies instead?
Yes.
James.
I wonder if scientists have already done this experiment somewhere.
They might have.
Yeah, they're highly unethical.
How do eggs breathe? When you're in there, how do you get oxygen? There's no umbilical cord.
They do actually. They have a sack of nutrients, so they're not using. It's the same as a baby in the womb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I cook up chicken placenta all the time. You know, it's a delicacy. All the nutrients.
Yeah,
well, you don't put
guys,
it that way.
We started watching this reality show called Meet the Family on Peacock. It is wild. I described it as Canadians trying to make a reality show they think people from the United States will enjoy. And so, there you go. They're like, oh, yeah, they like going a little too far. But Canadians aren't aware of, the right point to go far. So they just, every single episode, there's, a suicide. It's insane.
Yeah, it is not. It is not mental health friendly.
No.
It is very unwoke in that.
Wait, this is a reality show about people who are killing themselves during it?
I guess I should have explained it.
Yeah, James.
It's two people in a relationship, a real relationship, but the other one sets them up to say hey, would you like to meet my family? So it's them going to meet their family, except not real family, all actors. So one of the people is in on it, and then as it unfolds, it's always the father's losing their job or their home, so they're like,
and these are the actors.
Yes, it is fucking wild.
I was so freaked out.
They made one boy think they put a baby in a cannon and we're like, let's see it go to heaven and meet mommy. And they blast it. So in one shot, kid sees real baby. Then they quickly pass the baby off and hide it with a fake baby, put the fake baby in there. And this kid was almost crying, this 19-year-old. He thought he witnessed a murder of a baby.
I don't think I can watch the show.
It's you're no, they're not going to do that. And then they do it. And you're like, what the fuck?
It's kind of like if I were to write a show where I say, like, wouldn't it be funny if, like, the dude wants you to film his suicide note, and then that's what happens.
Wouldn't it be funny if he whipped his dick out?
Yes, and started being like, you want a sword fight, child I'm meeting now? Like, yes, there's technically like an inappropriate borderline sexual assault by just like flashing him and be like, it's fine, like you didn't play swords as a kid. It's nuts, guys. Canada.
First Degrassi and now this.
Uh-huh. And technically, the national government of Canada helped fund that production.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that. Funding art, Canada. And by pretty good, I mean they do it at all.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm like Des Ghidorah because I'm always sucking off the earth as well.
Yeah, so that's what Ghidorah's trying to do, suck off the earth, but really suck the soul out of the earth.
Scared me.
What?
That noise you made.
Oh, I thought you meant Henry.
I want to know what the cat issue is.
Oh, he's just trying
He wants to be on mic.
Yeah, he's trying to eat another microphone.
Let him do his plugs.
He says, yo, what up, guys? Listen to Darling Homebody. There he is. Oh, now the camera's on you. Now you don't want to do it. Or you're just going to lay. Okay, I thought he was just going to lay on the microphone. If this were Franklin would have just laid on the microphone. See, dude?
So the larva in the egg hears its mother's cries and is like, I gotta help her out. She needs me. Hatches early, which it makes sense. Like we learned that there used to be a bunch of Mothras, right? And now there's only one. And then she laid an egg. So there's two now. We got two Mothras. There used to be a whole bunch. Now we only have two big ones and then one little one that's fairy. But this egg, because it's the last Mothra, so I kind of think of them as like the same thing. They're both like gods, Yeah. Like they're pretty cool. The larva hatches and the larva looks like this and it goes through the water. It like swims through the water all the way to Hokkaido to help its mom. And then it starts shooting a rainbow web and it's beautiful.
Oh, shooting rope, baby.
So it comes, it's like my mom's tired, she's resting, so the larva comes and starts like spraying web all over Ghidorah, and Ghidorah's like, the fuck?
Worm spit.
Meanwhile, the kids and their parents get separated, and they're worried. They can't find each other. But the dad's okay, the mom finds him, and the two kids are together, watching over Mothra as she like is tired.
Nicole did ask me, have you ever been spat on by a worm?
Well, what's the answer?
I haven't.
Oh, I've been pooped on by a worm.
Hell yeah.
When I lived in New Jersey when I was a little kid, we would go fishing sometimes, so we'd like dig up worms in the backyard to use as bait. And those worms would poop on me because it just looked like dirt. Their poop is just dirt. Nothing really happens to it as it goes through them. I don't know science. I just assume that the dirt goes straight through the worm.
You know science.
You have a model of a worm. You know science.
Yeah. That's right. This is my science. The Mothra larva.
Oh, so when they started singing, what if instead of holding hands, they had to kiss to summon Mothra?
Wait, the girls?
Yeah.
The ladies?
They're sisters.
Yeah, why would you want them to kiss?
They'd go, Mosora, Mosora.
If they just kiss the air.
No, they kiss each other, and then when they start doing the, they start going.
Okay, the first part of it could have been like sisterly kisses, but you crossed a line with all the tongue stuff going on.
It's fine.
Between sisters?
Yeah.
It's not for me, James.
Oh, if the sisterhood of the traveling pants started making out, you wouldn't be like, God damn, this movie just got better.
They're teenagers.
Wait, they are? They're not in like college?
No.
What about Sisterhood of Traveling Pants too? That's what I thought.
Yes. I think during Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, they're all 17 and one of them turns 18. They are all turning 18 that summer.
Okay, well, Sisterhood of Traveling Hands poo. I can't talk. It's smoky, guys. I can't keep using that. Okay, what about Sister Act? All those nuns start making out. You'd say, Jesus-like.
Yeah, I would like that. You got me on that one, James. So they do sing again for the larva, right? Anyway, the larva's coming fighting. Tired Mothra is there. She goes in. They're tag teaming Ghidorah. They're trying to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like those twins.
Yeah. Oh, God. Meanwhile, Fairy and Gagaru are fighting as well. And then I don't know, someone gets hurt somewhere. I don't remember. What happens next? Someone help me.
They just keep fighting, and then the dam breaks and shit, and then they recuperate.
Okay. You're right. So that's what happens. And I'll take this. So they're fighting, and eventually they're like, I don't know what to do, because the Ghidorah is like biting the worm all up, biting the larva all up. And then it's like, oh no. And so the Mothra mom has to come in and fight him again. And then the larva kind of goes away to rest and comes back. And then Mothra tricks Ghidorah into going into the water. Mothra is in front of this dam, like trying to get over it. She's like, oh, I'm so helpless. I can't get over this dam. So when Ghidorah comes and tries to attack her, Ghidorah attacks the dam, breaking the dam. Mothra gets out of the way. The water rushes in and washes Ghidorah away. Mothra comes in, picks up her little larva baby, drops in the ocean, and then Mothra's like, fuck, that was it. That was the rest of my energy. I gotta go sink down into an abyss now. And it is so sad because the baby's trying to like flip her out of the water and keep her from dying.
Fucking sad.
It's fucked up, guys.
I was like crying during this movie.
Pixar has nothing on this movie.
Yeah, fuck Pixar. Oh. Show me a Mothra.
But like that's kind of why it holds that kids with magical animal energy, because I feel like usually something really fucking sad usually happens.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And this was it. It was like I told James it's like Jack dying in the Titanic.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say when Jack fell down those stairs in Jack.
No, it's not like that.
That part's very sad.
But it is like that movie scares me, actually.
Yeah.
I was always really weirded out by it. So I haven't seen it all the way through. Add it to the list of movies I'm afraid of, like Coneheads.
Oh, dude, I love Coneheads. It's gross, though.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, scary. Okay. Mr. Bean, terrifying.
What?
Mr. Bean is scary. I don't know what you want from me. He weirds me out. He's a strange little man. I don't understand his motivations, and it scares me.
Just living, baby.
I know that cannot be like it's Mr. Bean's.
Yeah, it's too unpredictable.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so baby sinks back into the ocean to like rest and to go figure out if it can pupate or whatever you call it. Meanwhile, Ghidorah got washed away, but is still like, now I gotta go head to some other trees. Yeah. You know?
I have some notes before we move on. I enjoyed the zapping candy from adult-voiced children, because the Gagaru just zaps a piece of candy out of the kid's hand, and the Belvedere's like, oh, hey, if you guys are going to eat it, my boy will. It was very cute. Those two are little scamps. Hey, everyone at me, because I cannot find any information on this. What continuity does this movie series live in? Is it its own? Is it in continuity with the Heisei stuff that previously was happening? Is it just the first Mothra? Then we skip to this one? I don't know. Could not find any information on it. Mothra blasts this big sound wave at Belvedere and Gagaru, and it affects them wholeheartedly. It should also hurt these children very bad. And I was like, it would pierce your eardrums. And I started thinking of the eardrum, and I was like,
they fell over.
I was like, wonder who saw the eardrum and was like, boy, would I love to slap on one of those.
No one.
Then the bongo started, then the full drum kit.
And you think that they started with seeing the eardrum?
Uh-huh.
And that's how drums were invented?
Mm-hmm. Maybe they took down this big old elephant, then they were like, let's see what's on the inside. They're going to eat the elephant. This is billions of years ago. And then they see, oh, it's a big old eardrum. I got to slap on one of those.
James, I wish I lived in your world
Okay,
where
anyway.
these things are true.
I have a couple quick notes to address as well.
Okay, go for it.
I love the moth's chicken feet.
Mm-hmm.
The kids using the seal to heal Mothra was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Mothra is a MILF. A moth I'd like to fuck.
Hell yeah. I'm
gross.
with you on that, Nicole. Mothra is gorgeous. Also, if you Google Mothra fan art, you're going to find sexy pictures really quickly. Turn off that safe search and it's there.
We did a fanfic when Nicole did the Toku reading corner. There was a moth, like it was all the kaiju as humans, but with superpowers in high school. And Mothra was a central character, and sometimes it got a little too, no.
Graphic.
And I can't remember, does this happen during this fight or later where Gagaru gets knocked down and killed?
That's the later fight.
Okay. So they go to the hospital because they've like, this whole thing has been, the area's destroyed. Mm-hmm. All of Japan is like, there's a fucking monster going around. Now there's two because there's a larva like in the ocean and there's this big 3-headed dragon heading around.
Which can fly now, I believe.
Which can fly now because it ate enough trees.
Yeah.
And people are freaking out. They're in the hospital. Everyone's freaking out. The kids have held on to the seal because the twins were like, maybe you'll need this someday. And the larva has gone off to turn into a Mothra. We have no idea where. This is a secret. Ghidorah is heading toward these other trees. So Ghidorah starts fucking things up. The kids are like, we gotta go, and just run off from the parents in the hospital. And the parents are like, okay, bye, we'll stay here.
Yeah.
And then there's a beautiful scene where the larva is like, goes to this beautiful place and pupates or whatever. And there's like these beautiful like moths, these colorful moths all around and all this glitter shining. And then what happens? It,
it's a big
evolves
fluffy
to a fluffy one. It's got green eyes instead of blue. It's got a different pattern on its wings, but it's got the little furry antenna, and it's so cute.
That's real good.
Mm.
It's really good. And then it's like, well, gotta go, and it flies over to fight Ghidorah.
Those kids were trying to water the plants with fish tank water, and I wonder, when does a fish tank become an aquarium?
I think those are used interchangeably.
Okay.
Like a fish tank is an aquarium.
I guess I could ask my sister. She's got a bunch of them.
Yeah. It depends how you want to refer to it, I guess.
She'd probably have some pretentious thing like, oh, yeah, you gotta at least have 20 fish in there to be in an aquarium.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a ratio of 1 fish per gallon or something.
And speaking on like those old trees, if I get to be a 10,000-year-old tree, put me out of my misery.
I think I'd be fine if I were a tree,
Nah.
You just grow. You sit there and grow. I wish I were a tree.
And then people start pissing on you.
That's why I want it.
Hell yeah. And you guys were talking about glitter, and Nicole's like, oh man, wonder how much glitter they used. And I could hear, a conversation that would have to be had is like, oh yeah, hey guys, where's Carl? And they're like, oh, Carl can't make it. It's glitter day. And they're like, oh yeah, his wife works at the Gerber plant because that's so much glitter. Everyone working there would be covered in glitter and would be showing up with glitter for the next week.
I thought the glitter was a computer effect.
Oh, no, they use glitter.
I mean, I think some of it is, but when you see those scenes where it's literally coming off of the wings, that's definitely real glitter. And there's a fucking lot.
There is a lot, but it's so cool. Mothra goes in, is doing all its Mothra powers and fighting Ghidorah. And there's also, a further face-off with Fairy and Gagaru. Gagaru gets fucking wrecked. It looks horrible because Gagaru falls to the ground. I'm like, this is brutal because you see its dead face, but then you notice that its neck is where it's torn out is all wires. It's a robot.
Weird.
Gagaru was a robot the whole fucking time.
crazy that she didn't say like, well, gonna have to make a new one. It just lingers on a shot. Some kids wouldn't understand that's a robot.
Yeah, I was really upset by the image at first because it was so, like, brutal, the dead body.
I think it's the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. The just wide open eyeball.
Yeah, it was messed up.
And then Mothra does its final attack, which is super cool.
Hell yeah.
It's this, like, halo of destruction. It flies in a circle above it, whirling up energy. Then it just goes zip, dum,
and then they are able to, like, press Ghidorah back down into the seal and seal it away again. And then they're gonna, like, you know, punish Belvira, but then they're like, whatever. We'll let her go, because she's our sister.
You can still disown your sister. She's genocidal. Do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they think she'll change at some point. Like, they live on a different timeline than we do. Mm-hmm. Like, they're living for centuries.
Millennia.
Centuries.
What's that from?
It's like Imagine Dragons or some shit. Oh, yeah, it is Fallout Boys. Fallout Boys?
Yeah, Fallout Boys.
Yeah, the Fallout Boys.
You know.
That's how they were able to work around a copyright infringement from 20th Century Fox.
Because of the video game?
No, because of it's named after the Simpsons character, Fallout Boy.
You're right. Yeah.
So if they put an S at the end, that's a completely different thing.
But they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, they did. It's Fallout Boys. It's actually Fallout's Boy.
Yeah, actually, if you look up the paperwork, the business paperwork.
I thought it was
the LLC
Falls Out Boy.
It's Falls Out's Boys. Actually, it's all of them.
Oh, sounding like an Italian over there.
Falls Out's Boys.
Yeah.
I am Italian.
Yeah.
That's it.
Would you ride a Mothra?
Absolutely, I would ride a Mothra.
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't I ride a Mothra?
I feel like that's an instant allergy attack that I don't want to go through.
I don't think I'm allergic to moths.
It's so dusty.
I'm hopping in. Plus, like, why would you say, you know, Mothra is something that is created by the earth itself to, like, protect it. Like, do you really think that you would be allergic to Mothra?
Yeah.
Like, it's a magical being. Do you think you're going to have allergies to magic?
Yeah.
If all that glitter is pollen, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I'm allergic to magic.
But it's magic pollen. So maybe it's not allergenic.
It's hypoallergenic.
It's hypoallergenic moth pollen.
No, I once put my hand in a dummy, a magician's dummy, and man, I just got a bunch of sores after it.
What the fuck are you saying?
That's magic. And I'm allergic to magic. I went to...
Do you think all dummies are magic?
Yes, a magician is talking with it. How else is it talking? They're all magic.
Not all magicians have puppets.
But
and
all
not
ventriloquists
all
are magicians.
No!
How else are they moving the mouth? Huh, Shelby?
Ventriloquism.
Yeah, that's just an illusionist. Okay, a airbender. They're all magicians.
No, remember there was a trivia that, like, it was witchcraft?
Yes, that's magic.
Yeah.
Told ya.
You think ventriloquism is witchcraft?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, you're talking about magic that actually exists compared to Mothra.
Yeah, you said magic. It's all magic. I'm pretty sure, oh, hey, guys, I'm an airbender. Oh, that air's going to have pollen in it. I'm going to be allergic to that.
No, the magic of an airbender is different from the magic of, like, a card trick or a ventriloquist.
Oh, my God. You're just not understanding this. All magic could give you allergies, and all magic is being allergic to me. Give me another magician from folklore or something.
Like a real one? Like
or
a magician?
Any
or
kind
like
of magic.
A wizard?
David Blaine.
David Blaine once came up to me on the street and coughed in my mouth, and guess what? I had COVID the next day. That's magic that I'm allergic to.
But that's still, he does like up close magic. He's not a giant moth creature.
Yeah, and he was doing up close magic so close that he coughed in my mouth.
I'm just saying, maybe you're allergic to David Blaine. Maybe you're allergic to Chris Angel Mind Freak. Maybe you're allergic to Howard Houdini.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kramer. I was like, yeah, he's pretty magic.
To Howard Kramer. Maybe you're allergic to that other guy, David Attenborough. I don't know. The famous magicians.
The Long Island Medium.
Maybe you're allergic to the Long Island. Well, that's a con artist. I'm allergic to her as well.
No, she's magic. She knows.
But that doesn't mean you're going to be allergic to this fictional, mythical being.
I'm allergic to Nicole's eyes.
Well, you got me there. I can't argue that one. You've won it. You've won the game.
It makes my penis swell. Yahoo! Hey, R2, thank you so much for hopping on. We have one more thing to talk about with this movie. That should have been the end. But the ending is early. Hey, how do we act to something that isn't really there? The family is not reacting with the same energy as the moth ladies, saying goodbye, see you guys later. Stone face from all of them. Nothing. They're like, what are we reacting to? You can't tell us something's there because there's not.
To be fair, a lot of this movie has just shots of like the kids staring with no expression, just off into the distance.
Well, that's a movie. We're hoping we could watch all three of them before we came here so we could be like, hey, guys, this one's good, this one's not. Hey, check them out. But we only had time to do the first one twice.
Well, I would watch the other two.
You should?
Yeah, maybe I will.
Thank you so much for being here, R2. Do you have anything to plug?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. I always enjoy talking about kaiju with my friends, James and Nicole, on Mostly Speakin Sentai. If you want to see more of me, most of y'all know who I am. You can find me, like James said, at twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. If you want to hear my other podcasts, you can hear Formulaic with my co-host James, or the Rom Complex with my co-host Sam, who has been a guest on Mostly Speakin Sentai. And if you want to support the Rom Complex, go to patreon.com/the Rom Complex.
Hell yeah. Nicole, do you have anything to plug? Remember, this is coming out on July 6th.
Firstly, I know you're setting me up, but firstly, the Rom Complex. It's a podcast where you feel like you're at a slumber party, and it's good and it's cozy and it's fun.
Thank you.
Our show is like you're at a slumber party, but everyone has diarrhea.
Yeah. In reference to the date, I am selling my things at Anime Midwest in Chicago, July 7th, 8th, and 9th. So if you want to go, or you're already going, stop by and just say, hey, how's it going? That'd be really cool.
Hell yeah. Hey guys, listen to my music under Marshland Monster. New single with the Dragon Boy Suede coming out July 7th. Check it out. It's called Ill-Fated Brigade. And listen to all the other ones. Let Howard know that I'm doing work to get the word out. Also, tweet at Who Charted and say, hey, it would be cool if James came on. Not mean, not pushy, just be very respectful about it. Marshland Monster, get him on, but in a nice way. And head over to MLMpod.com to find out about information about my other shows. And please go to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday, July 7th, R2 is on with Lil Corey and I talking what's that called? Warriors of Virtue.
It's a good movie.
Real quick, I didn't say my artist name is Darling Homebody for the Anime Midwest.
Oh, everyone knows you to Darling Homebody.
Oh, okay.
And if you're a $10 patron, you get monthly bonus exclusive content, like straight to Patreon. We just did a watch along, Lil Corey and I, of Uncle Sam Get in the Mood for Independence. And you get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast, so let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z., The Waz, Orion, he used to be a rapper, D-FO, Jordan B., The Chaos Witch, Joshua, my pickle in common law, you better believe it, Steve Barnes, who, oh man, he's gonna be on here soon, the womb in which I emerged, my mummy, Lil Corey's BFF and soon-to-be former roommate, or maybe right now is former roommate, Shane, that fed, twitch.tv/Corwin. It's Corwin. He'll be on tomorrow or in a couple weeks if you're hearing this post-Viridian. And, I don't know, post-Meridian, that's what it was. I'm on the way to post-Viridian City. And finally, you just heard her for an hour and 40. It's R2Shelby2 of twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And speaking of people, I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Shelby.
And we've been mostly speaking Sentai. Bye-bye.
P.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. It starts with a single word that is related to the episode or movie we'll be discussing, like moth. That could be one of them. R2, are you writing this down?
Yes. Well,
okay.
I'm writing down some notes.
All right. Well, all of this text was sent to you in a DM.
I know it was.
Okay,
I'm writing
right.
down notes for the... Okay.
All right.
For the audience, James wrote an example of an intro for me that I could have chosen to just read verbatim. But instead, I am going to improvise one based on these points. So that is why I'm taking notes.
All right. Oh, yeah. That is followed by a sentence or two where we explore how/why that thing, I should say, is. But wait, what was... Someone should have edited this, okay? Oh, yeah. Moths. Satan's butterflies. Actually, even Satan herself wouldn't claim the Night Stalker of the Lepidoptera order, okay? The moth, unlike Sasquatch, Slenderman, and the female orgasm, is a cryptid that wants to be noticed. But just like the opposite of Senpai, Mothra and her ungodly egg baby want all the attention in the goddamn world. How else would you explain this moth's multi-martyrdom movie after movie? 'Cause if I kept sacrificing myself for Nicole's well-being only to come back time and time again to do it over, eventually she'd get a little sus. And on the subject of being sus, it's sure suspicious why this show doesn't have any more listeners. I'm Nicole, and this is Mostly Speaking Sentai. Oh, yeah. And this is all bloopers, guys. Except for those watching the stream. The fourth might be in the house, but his dad's too busy trying to push Pulgasari down his throat.
I don't know what that means.
It's
Nicole,
a kaiju
do you
film.
know? Oh, okay.
No.
She
Nobody
knows.
knows.
Yes, it's
Nobody
the
knows.
North Korean kaiju film that one of the eels stole a man from South Korea to make.
I do know about that. I do
Yeah?
know about that movie.
Which you probably found out about on This Existed with Lil Corey and me.
Yeah, that's definitely how I found out about it. It wasn't years prior.
You have a subscription.